What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first ever Ride Detroit Weekly. I am your host, Jason Hall, aka the Jason of all trades. So if you want to go to the Instagram, as the kids say, and add me, go for it. I just want to welcome everybody to our home at Electric Avenue Bikes, 3613 Woodward. Man, you know, for the longest time, I've been trying to come up with something that we could do where I could showcase stuff that matters to me, which is bikes, cannabis, things of that nature. Anything that I feel like is relevant or is going on in Detroit is going to go down on this show, but we're going to mainly stick it to like community events and, you know, bikes and stuff of that nature. But the fact that we're doing it live, anything could pop up. Once again, we are at the shop, so you could walk in the door right now and I might bring you in. Who knows what's going on. So that is what's going on. Once again, welcome. I'm excited, man, because every week I'm going to bring you guys a new guest, a different guest, to talk about different stuff that's going on. And this week's guest is a good friend of mine. We've been doing some stuff and we've been working together. I'm waiting for him to join, but his name is Bob Barnes, and he's the executive director of Free Bikes for Kids. Free Bikes for Kids is an amazing program that Bob's going to fill you in about, where they refurbish bikes and get them back out to kids into the community. I see that Free Bikes for Kids Detroit just popped up, so I'm assuming that is Bob. So Bob, go ahead. Boom, he sent me the request. So I will accept that in a second, and we'll be talking to Bob, and he's going to give us a tour of the warehouse and all that stuff. But first, I just want to say thank you to a bunch of people that inspired me to do this. I want to say thank you to Alpha and Anthony, who work at the shop, who are covering for me right now so I can do this stuff. I want to thank Loomis Helmets. I want to thank Griffin Claw Brewing. I want to thank Wingman Water. I want to thank American Cycle and Fitness. I want to thank Murals in the Market and One Times Run. Hey, I want to thank all those people, because those are all the people that right now, Tap Beverages, don't let me forget them, that are making the show happen right now. So without further ado, guys, I know you love talking to me, and you can talk to me after we get done with Bob, but I want to get to Bob because right now they are incredibly busy getting done with what's going down for the season. Without further ado, Bob, what are you up to, man?
Hey, Jason, how you doing, man?
What's up, brother? How are you?
How are you?
Good, man. I mean, I'm not wearing a mask, but you got way more going on where you are. It's just me and a couple guys, and they're way over there. So
I do.
But you are busy, man. Talk to me. First of all,
we got a bunch of volunteers in the building, so I got to wear a mask. So can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah. I was just adjusting my stuff. I'm good.
Okay. So I'm at 411 Paquette. I'm at Free Bikes for Kids here in Detroit, and you can see behind me, first of all, that's our mascot. So the big boy's our mascot back there.
Wait, you don't get to run this interview. Hold on. Explain the big boy, okay? You can't just drop something like that and then be like, okay, I'm moving on. How is that there, and what's going on?
So the story behind the big boy is the platform real estate developers owns this building. They give us this space for 3 years in a row now. We have been given this space by the platform. And they also redeveloped the East Jefferson Big Boy property, I don't know, a few years ago. And they owned this building, and they didn't want to let this big boy, this guy right here, right behind me, that guy, go. So he's sitting here with us for the last 3 years. And whenever we have a group come in to volunteer, we always take their picture in front of the big boy at the end of the day.
There you go. There you go. So like I said, I run the interview here, sir. All right. So before we get into how awesome the project is, let's talk about you and how you got involved with Free Bikes for Kids.
Okay. So, you know what? I guess a third career guy, right? So I started out as a engineer in the automotive industry for about 20 years, and ended up after a certain amount of time, I wanted to do something different. So I went back to teach high school, and I got certified to teach, and I've been teaching high school for 15 years. And a few years ago, you know, I'm a bike nut, and a few years ago I wanted to, you know, give back a little bit, and I wanted to do it along the lines of something that I'm passionate about, and cycling is something that I'm passionate about. And so I saw the Free Bikes for Kids advertised online in a periodical called Velo News, and the founder was mentioned in this article. They'd collected 10,000 bikes in Minnesota, in Minneapolis. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. And they were giving them to kids in the Twin Cities region. And there was an email to contact this guy. And so one thing led to another. We started corresponding, and we started our chapter, our affiliate here in Detroit in December of 2018. Actually, started talking in 2017. Our first season was 2018 in the fall.
Okay. So did you know, I mean, so Minneapolis, they do it big all the time. So they bring in 10,000 bikes in. Were you ready to like take on this massive, at least you thought you were ready at the time to take on this massive thing?
Yeah. It's a kind of thing where, if you would have known what was ahead of you, you might not do it. So it's a good thing that we're ignorant, right? That we really don't know. So, it was a lot of work, but honestly, I've had incredible incredible team. The group that we have assembled is amazing, and we're working our way up to that granddaddy status that Minneapolis has. I honestly think, Minneapolis they do everything big, but we're a big market in Detroit, and I think that we will be every bit as big as that group there in a few years. It just takes time, right?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know about building a project from the bottom up.
You do.
Man. So yeah,
you do, man.
So can you give us an idea, like what is it, what does your day look like when you get to Free Bikes? You're looking at so many different things, and you're going to give us a tour of the warehouse, but what does your day look like?
You know what? I usually come in the afternoons because I'm still teaching school in the mornings, and I was teaching in person until about 3 weeks ago. So now we're online, and I'm a part-time guy. So I teach every day, a fewer number of classes than normal, but I'll get here about 2 o'clock usually. And we have 3 volunteer shifts each day, Monday, Wednesday, and then Tuesday, Thursday, we have 4 volunteer shifts, 3 hours each. So I usually come right about the time the afternoon volunteer shift is starting from 2 to 5, and we kind of get those folks going. We have a warehouse manager who is an amazing person. Gigi Gwynn is our warehouse manager, and she's amazing. Mm-hmm. So she keeps everything in line here, and I'm just kind of here to make sure that people get paid and that things are running smoothly, and I help out with getting things ordered on time. We have parts and things like that, but I've got help on all fronts, honestly.
Okay, well, I'm ready to go. Let's start this tour.
You want to walk around?
Let's do it.
All right. So I'm going to turn this around a little bit here. Let's go this way. So this is where people check in. So they come in, and there's a little big boy. That was the guy that was in the lobby of the East Jefferson. So he's wearing his Free Bikes for Kids bib there, right?
Right.
So you notice we kind of open all the bay doors because we're trying to get improved airflow through the building during this COVID time. And so we kind of check people in here. We got them. They do a little health screen survey, 2D barcode thing online. We take their temperature. This room here, everything you see here, 1,200 bikes, man, and they're all ready to go.
That you said they are ready to go.
They are ready to go.
Wow,
you got it.
So this is. I've been in the building, so I know this is just a fraction. But 1,200 bikes just in this room alone.
Yes. Yes.
And are they separated by? It looks like by size.
Yeah. So I'm walking down to the small end here. So you see, this is the 12-inch wheel bikes here. So we kind of put the girls' bikes over there in that corner right there. And then you got the boys' 12-inch wheel bikes here. Then we got the 16-inch wheels and so on. So it's kind of by size and by gender. So then you get the 20-inch wheels and then BMXers down on the end. On this side of the room, we've got the 24-inch wheels. And so when we get groups that apply for bikes on our website, they will request specific numbers and specific sizes. Okay. And so when they do that, we try to reconcile what we've got in stock with what they're asking for. And so we've got about 25 groups this year that are looking for bikes. And so we're trying to figure out how to sort these with each individual request.
And so that's how you, that's a great, you touched on. So how do I apply to get a bike? You said you go online?
Yeah, so you go online on our website. You can actually apply on our website. And right now, most of the bikes are accounted for. So usually the applications will come in mid-November timeframe, early mid-November. And then we spend a few weeks to kind of go through to figure out how do we allocate them. But there's an application form on our website, fb4kdetroit.org. And we will, in organizations, we don't give bikes to individuals. We actually give them to organizations like church groups, neighborhood groups, bike clubs, schools. And they'll apply for 50 or 75 or 100 bikes on behalf of the constituents that they serve.
Okay. Because if you had 1 million applications coming in, how would you even begin to go through that process of determining who really deserves a bike? So I get that. That's the perfect way. All right. So sorry to interrupt, man. On with your tour. Sorry about that.
You know what? Okay, so I'm going to walk you through here. We're going to come back through here because I'm going to go to the beginning of the process. Here we've got our volunteers that are kind of working through different things. I'm going to take you all the way to the beginning where we start with the dirty bikes. So we're going through a door here. These are the cleaners. So this is the cleaner area right here. These are the folks that are cleaning the bikes that are going to be given to a child.
Okay. So that's where they start. They start in cleaning.
Yeah. You got it.
Okay.
So here we have dirty bikes, right? So we only have a few that are staged right now. These are the dirty bikes. But we got a whole row right here of they're actually drop bar bikes that we're going to take care of next. So this is our next, really that's it. After we're done with these, we don't have any dirty bikes left, right?
Wow.
So cleaners come through here and they have, simple green, they have steel wool, they have toothbrushes, they have wire brushes, and they're working to clean the rust, to clean the grime off the bikes. And our threshold, we try to say, you want to make it nice enough that you would give it to your own child. It's a Christmas gift for a kid.
Right.
And in a lot of cases, it's the first bike that child will ever have. So we want it to be nice.
Absolutely.
So they put clean bikes right here. So when they're done and they've cleaned it, these are bikes that have been cleaned, lots of mechanical issues, right? But they're clean at least. These guys right here, there's 4 stations here for preppers. And what a prepper does, they will actually work on the tires and the saddle and the pedals, basic stuff, right? So you want your mechanics that are full-blown mechanics focusing on the more complicated repairs. These are the folks that have some bike skills, but maybe not full mechanic skills, right? So they're going to put those bikes, when they're done, in this section right here, in the prepped bike section. And the mechanics, our volunteer mechanics, grab these bikes from here. And then the mechanics work at about 7 or 8 stations right along here and do everything else. We have a checklist for these guys. We have, tools at every table. And these guys are volunteers that know bikes. They do everything from derailleur adjustment, new brake and derailleur cables, to bearings, to you name it. And then when they're done, over to the QC area. So they put the bikes in the QC area here, and we have mechanics that are on our staff here that are certified mechanics that will validate and check through all of the safety items on the bike, and then it gets a sticker, and it goes into that room where you saw the 1,200 bikes.
So where do the majority, do you think, that the bikes come from? When you get these donations, are they individuals? Are they groups donating?
Yeah. So, I know you know where some of them came from because you helped us. So, Jason did a wonderful connection this year with Temple Israel. So there was a big bike drive at Temple Israel in, I think it was in September. It was in mid-September. And the folks at Temple Israel collected a couple of 100 bikes on our behalf that was all organized by Jason. So that was pretty cool.
I am just a cog in the wheel, man. I'm just a cog in the wheel. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Shout out to Michelle Rosenfeld over there and everybody at Temple Israel for doing a great thing. So now that
but other than that, so the big collection day is in October. So we have a big collection day in early October, and Henry Ford Health System is our is our partner. And this year, Home Depot jumped in as well.
Nice.
So the public donates used bikes at any Henry Ford Health System medical center. And this year, there was 5 or 6 Home Depot stores. So anywhere in Metro Detroit you live, you weren't more than 10 or 15 minutes away from a drop-off location. And that's how we can get so many bikes, is you make it convenient for people to unload those bikes that are in the garage that are just sitting there, right? They're getting rusty and the child has outgrown them. Literally everybody we talk to says, well, I got a couple bikes, you know? So we're just trying to get those bikes out of the garage. So it's a reuse thing as well. These bikes, most of these bikes would have been at the landfill. So the fact that they are being reused, they're going to have a new life with a child, first bike in most cases. It's super cool. And the unsung thing about what we do, I mean, it's obvious that a child is getting a bike, and it's a win for the child, obviously, both from a physical health and I think a mental health standpoint. And it's a win because we're reusing the bike. But the thing that I think gets overlooked is the whole community comes together to make this happen. We have hundreds and hundreds. Last year we had 1,500 volunteers. And people, it's unbelievable. People cross paths who would never cross paths. You know, we've got folks from Chrysler, we've got Bike Life Club members, we've got people from all over that are working side by side to help the community, to help kids. And to me, that's one of the most gratifying things about it, honestly.
Absolutely.
Really.
Absolutely. You know, there's something to be said about the bicycling community in Detroit, man. I've learned so much about people in the last 10 years of really being involved. And I know exactly what you're talking about, man. And when I walk in there, it's so awesome to see guys from bike shops in the suburbs, right, like you said, next to Bike Life people, all working collectively on a common goal, which is to put smiles on kids' faces.
Which is what you started with Slow Roll. It's the same thing. People mixing who would never mix, right?
Right. So once we're done, I mean, you've got 1,200 bikes. All these bikes go out. It doesn't stop. You've learned that this is really almost an all-year-round program, at least planning-wise.
It is. We're seasonal as far as the operation, as far as getting the bikes, collecting them and refurbishing them. But when it comes to planning and funding, we do fundraisers in the off-season. We apply for grants. We do all kinds of things that affect the season during the off-season. We were able to, through another affiliate, because Free Bikes for Kids is a national organization. So we're able to use the benefit of some resources in other markets. So the Chicago market actually had a relationship with Home Depot that we were able to benefit from by getting Home Depot involved here in Detroit, and now they're on board to help us collect bikes. So that's the kind of planning we'll do in the off season, just working with other organizations.
What are some of the bigger challenges that you come across, you know, working with Free Bikes in a season?
Well, this year there was a lot with COVID, obviously. Right. You know, we had to try and figure out if we could even do this. So the fact that we're even able to do this year, I'm really gratified that we were able to make this happen. And it's because we have a lot of dedicated team members that were willing to focus on the mission and really help kids get bikes. So that was the biggest obstacle this year. But I would say year in, year out, probably the biggest challenge going forward will be to have a place to do what we do. We've been very fortunate to have this building for 3 years. The platform has been very generous, but they're going to develop this. This is meant for bigger things, this building. And so this won't be our home forever. In fact, we expect it to not be available next year. So, you know, we got to find a place to operate. We got to find a warehouse. We got to find 20,000 square feet that can handle a bunch of bikes. And you know, if I was looking for some warehouse space, I don't know where I'd rather be than Detroit, but still, it's a challenge, right?
Yeah, you guys are in premium, I mean, right in the heart of town. It's accessible to everybody around. I love Paquette, man, that place, and it's a shame. I hate to see you guys go. So part of my job in this is to bring awareness to this And hopefully we can bring awareness to the fact that you guys need a new space to do such an amazing project in.
Yeah.
What is, I got to ask as a bike guy, and I've seen some of the bikes that came in there, man, from donations, man. And it is crazy what people donate or what they consider a donation or a trash bike. What is the craziest bike that you've ever had donated that you were just like,
oh, man.
You're like, I can't even take this, or take it back, or
Yeah. You know what? We've had some amazing bikes donated. We have this year a folding electric bike that someone donated, which is super cool. You've seen the turn bike. In fact, you guys sell a version of it. We had one of those last year. We had a Pinarello, a very nice Italian racing bike, donated this year. A little bit older, not in great condition, but
I saw
like
that thing, man. Whew, I saw that thing. You could pick that up with your pinky.
Yeah, it's like you said, though. People are, and I think, you know, some people are like, you know, they don't know what they've got and they're just donating it in the garage or getting rid of it. But some people are full aware, you know, they know what they're giving us, and they give it knowing that it's going to benefit either a child, or in the case of some of these really nice adult bikes, we can potentially do a resale if the donor agrees, and then we can use the funds that we make from that to plow back into the nonprofit. So
there you go again. There you go again, answering the question I was going to ask. Stop this. So yes, the question was going to be, you guys, you just don't give those bikes out as donations. I mean, you've got a mechanism in place that, you know, for stuff like that.
Yes. You know, we'll look at a bike that's a really nice bike, and if it's a kid's bike, more than likely it's still going to go. If it's an adult-sized bike that would be like for a teenager, that's very nice. Most likely, if it's a rare bike, we might do a silent auction at our volunteer party, and we've been able to earn, you know, raise enough money in those times. We've had 2 big volunteer parties our first couple of years where we were able to plow a lot of that money back into the business. So if it's a smaller bike, though, more than likely we'll still fix it up and give it to a child.
Gotcha. Yeah, I had to ask because, like I said, last time I was in there, they're like, yeah, look at these bikes. And I'm like, wait, are these bikes? What are these? I'm like, are these donations? And it's just my heart started fluttering, man, to see all that cool stuff coming in there. So what's next for Free Bikes? Like I said, so right now is there any way that I can still get involved right now, even though because you guys are done this week, right? Or next week?
In fact, we're done. Today is our second to last volunteer day. Tomorrow's our last volunteer day, and we start shipping bikes on Saturday. Okay. So we've got someone whose job is just to coordinate the applications of the organizations that have applied for bikes, and try to figure out how they're going to get distributed. So they're in the midst right now of creating a schedule for Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday for those organizations to come and actually bring trucks so we could load their bikes up onto the trucks. So we could actually use some volunteers maybe to load those bikes up.
Okay.
So more likely Monday and Tuesday. Monday in particular. Tuesday's a little bit up in the air right now. For sure we'll be loading bikes on Monday. Between the hours of about 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So if a few folks want to come down and just help us load bikes, for sure we can do that. We can use that.
So everybody, you heard that. There's still an opportunity for you to get in and help and make a difference in a child's Christmas, man, you know. Once it's all done, what's next? You know, when do you start? Do you take a couple weeks off, or do you just dive right into next year?
Yeah, no, I take some mental health days. So January, in the past, we'll have a volunteer party in January. This year, obviously, that's not going to happen, but we've had some pretty cool volunteer parties at the Velodrome. So Dale Hughes at the Velodrome has helped us to host those volunteer parties the last couple of years. This year, not going to happen. But, you know, we'll get back into it in February, March, and start talking about, actually, to be honest with you, I got a grant I'm applying for. It's got a due date of January 8th. So I got to get that in by January 8th. But after that, you know, we'll look at some other funding opportunities and kind of figure out what the spring, you know, what the schedule is for those things after the season's over.
Well, Bob, man, thank you for coming out, taking the time. I'm sorry I didn't start this show earlier in the year, so I could have got more volunteers to you
Hey, man.
earlier. But
Thank you. Honestly, Jason, it's an honor to be on this inaugural show. Really, seriously. Thank you so much for thinking of us, and for being such a great benefactor. Because you talk about some of those amazing bikes. Well, a lot of those amazing bikes came from that event that you helped us organize with Temple Israel. So some of the most amazing bikes we got were from that event. So you've been a huge part of our success this year, and I truly appreciate you allowing us to come on here and just tell our story. Thank you.
Bob, man, you are an inspiration to me. I owe you. We're going to have some non-alcoholic beverages because I don't drink. But we're going to hang out and talk about how we can plot and plan on taking over the world, man, because this year,
awesome.
If you only got 1,200 bikes this year, we got to double that. Like I said, every year I want to see that number grow. So once again, brother, thanks for coming on, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, my friend.
All right,
see you.
Talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Later. Wow, man. So there it is, everybody. I am so excited. That was an amazing, like you said, inaugural show. Thank you, Bob, for coming on. Thank you to the whole staff over at Free Bikes for Kids for what you do, man. It is tireless work, and it's the work that matters. So I can't thank them enough, and the kids are going to have a great Christmas. I hope everybody had a great time watching the show. I feel great, man. It looks good. Give me some feedback. You know what I mean? I'm going to share this. It's going to go on my YouTube page. So go to RiDetroit's YouTube page, add that. Once again, Jason of All Trades. Add me on the Instagram. I'm at like 7,800. I'm trying to get to 10,000 so I can get the swipe up. So share everything that we do together, and hit me up, man. I'm looking for guests. My next guest is going to be Ken Stonehouse with American Cycle and Fitness. He's become a mentor of mine and a really good friend. He's been in this business a long time, going back to his family, starting Scarlett's down in Pontiac. And so we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about an amazing program that I've started with the Downtown Boxing Gym that launches in January, where we're going to get people of color trained to get jobs in the bicycle industry, not even just in the mechanical world, but in the business and marketing end of things, and really show them what is possible. So we're going to talk about that next week. Thanks again for everybody coming on again. Once again, shout out to Wingman Water, Tap Beverages. Who else am I forgetting somebody? Oh, yeah, Griffin Claw. Sorry, I stopped drinking beer, but I know they got some NA stuff. I'm going to go out there. Another thing is, what's cool about the show is it will be live from our home, but the beauty of this is I can pick it up and move it. So you might see me at the Velodrome. You might see me at a restaurant. You might see me at Griffin Claw. But wherever you'll see me, it will always be relevant. All right, everybody. See ya in the blogosphere.